Howdy, howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again. Welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2004, and we're going to the 08 Southern 500. Of course, it's been a crazy season. We've seen guys like Jeff Green, Michael Waltrip, Kyle Petty, Scott Wimmer, Kenny Wallace go to victory lane, and, well, the summer stretch of the season is over. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., clear as day, has been the dominant cat in the barn. But, we're going to the Southern 500. After that, it is Richmond and then back to New Hampshire, which New Hampshire's it's a pain in the butt. We were 550 out entering the Bristol night race. We're still top 5 in points, but we're 642 points out. We already eliminated Kurt Busch from championship contention. I'm not yet willing to eliminate Matt Kenseth yet, even though he's 750. I'm going to give him one more race. We're almost eliminated from championship contention already. 311 points back to second place. Dale Jr. is just freaking on rails, guys. How do you win a Winston Cup championship with a cat that dominant and consistent? Let's see what our sponsors are thinking. Okay, so their happiness is going down, which is good because we want to get some new sponsors on the car. Going to the shop, can't do nothing there. We can do some stuff here. Let's go ahead and get this one fixed up. And, of course, we're going to the Southern 500, really good racetrack for us, and you got to start thinking about it, Is it too early to start planning for next season? Absolutely not. We can still learn some stuff, try to get that sponsor set up. We could sign a sponsor that could carry into 2009 and carry us through that season. So, definitely, there are some games possibly being played for next season. But looking through here, let's see. That's our plate engine. Can't touch that. I guess we'll run the same one we brought to Tennessee, and not much downforce we're going to have for this one, guys, but a car rating of 80. Let's go to Donington. Alrighty, folks, so we qualified on the pole for the Mountain Dew Southern 500 here in 2008. We're alongside Tony Stewart. Let's go into the now trackside from Donington Raceway.
MRN is here at the Great Southern Tradition, the annual Southern 500 here at the Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. Every driver who comes here has one goal in mind. Don't add any paint to the wall. What makes Darlington so tough?
Well, this is an egg-shaped track with different links and different bankings in the east and west turns. That makes it very tough for the drivers. But the question is, why is it egg-shaped? Well, when it was built, the landowner decided he didn't want his minnow farm disturbed, so they simply pinched in the corners of what is now turns 3 and 4 to give it the distinctive egg shape that it's now famous for.
The 82 car will try to use this race to gain a couple spots in the points.
All these guys are very happy with their top 10 season so far. Hopefully they can mount a charge that will pick them up some more points on the leaders.
Jimmy Johnson is always near the front at these speedways.
I watched him in practice, and that car just looks good. Sometimes you can just tell by watching the car on the track who's going to be fast on race day without even looking at the speed charts.
Stanton Barrett hasn't run well in his qualifying attempts at the speedways this year.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not where you are at the green flag. It's where you are at the checkered that matters. He just has to stay focused out there and stay out of trouble, which is sometimes easier said than done when you start in the back.
Alrighty, folks, here we go. Starting on pole, engines are fired. Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. Got one on my right side and one behind. We got Budweiser's and Home Depot appliances, I guess you could call it. Look, we're borderline championship elimination here. We're top 5 in points, but we're like 600 points out.
The 82 car.
It's going to take a God-given miracle to win this championship, but you know what? There's still races to be won. We only won twice this season. We'll go out here and try to win a crown jewel event. The Southern 500 is a huge deal by itself. I hope we can keep Dale Jr. at bay today and try to keep him away from victory lane. Now, the number one thing we got to do, he's got to take care of the car, is we just made contact with Dale Jr. after hitting the wall. Oh, Jesus. Well, that's one way to kick off a Southern 500. Definitely want to lead the first lap here if we can. That's 5 bonus points right there. So that's good. But It's a long race. 36 laps around here. You know, I'd compare it a lot to the Coke 600. You know, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 40 laps there. We're doing this playthrough. That's a long race there. But 36 laps at Darlington, oh Jesus, that is going to wear your equipment out. You gotta take care of your race car, gotta keep the fenders on it. Let's see how this one plays out. So Tony Stewart's in second place. He's still in championship contention. Keep in mind, he's won, well, from 2002 to 2006. He was a 5-time straight Winston Cup champion in this playthrough. If he was to win another championship and somehow steal it from Dale Earnhardt Jr., that would give him his 6th title and one shy of Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. So even though Dale Jr. is the Pied Piper this season, Tony Stewart has a lot of hope left. And you consider when you have, what, 11 races to go, I think, after this Darlington Southern 500, there is a lot of opportunity. If you could average 20 points gained per race, you can eat into that 30-point gap. Granted, he's going to need at least one DNF from Dale Jr., I think. But if he stays consistent, the championship could be his. Anyways, Dale Jr. is still in 4th place here. And, you know, that's the one thing about the AIs in this game, is that when you win a race, you can dominate and lead 30 laps out of 30 laps, right? The championship leader, you know, the cat who's just so dominant that whole season, could very well finish, I don't know, 4th, 5th place at worst. And you only gain maybe 15 points on him, 20 points, 25 points. And that might sound like a lot, but when you go to every racetrack and that one driver is finishing top 5 every single race, how do you compete with that? Because I don't think anyone is going to finish top 5 in every race as a player in this game, you know? And I think that's an extreme challenge. I like that. I like taking on a huge challenge. But it does put a... I mean, it puts the margin of error. It just puts it on a complete microscopic scale. Because if you have one bad race, you lose 90 points. That takes you 4 or 5 races to make that up. And that's winning the race, dominating it, and hoping Dale Jr. doesn't finish 2nd when he finishes 5th. So... in other words, it's going to take an unbelievable stroke of luck for someone else to win this championship besides Dale Earnhardt Jr. Of course, he has not won a championship in this playthrough. It's been all Tony Stewart and then, of course, Ryan Newman last season. Newman's been, well, for a while now, eliminated from championship contention. Jeff Gordon's already out of championship contention as well. So, interesting to see some of the younger drivers starting to take these Winston Cup titles. But we got to keep digging here. It's a long race here, 36 laps. Cut it down the middle. The whole field's going to probably pit around lap 18, lap 17. I'm not too concerned with tire wear here. Yeah, it is a factor. But I think what's going to be even a bigger factor is damage on your car and lap traffic. The leader is going to encounter lap traffic at some point if this stays green flag because it's such a long, enduring race. But that's just part of it, guys. So anyways, we're on lap 10 here already. Dale Jr. still solidly in 4th place here. We've led every lap thus far, and it's looking pretty decent for the 82 Monte Carlo. Still looking for that new sponsor, of course. We qualified on pole as well, so... we've been batting 1,000 thus far here in South Carolina. Trying to keep the car on the racetrack, trying to find a way to be able to keep digging here. And, you know, if the race ended right now, and we led every lap, finished the race in 1st, blah, 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 and Dale Jr. finished where he's at, you wonder how much points would gain? Keep in mind, we're over 600 points out. We would only gain... I want to say 25 or 30 points. That's it. So that's what I'm saying. Is like you would have to average at least 50 points per race to be able to win this championship. Every race you have to gain 50 points. Every race. No matter what track it is, no matter what happens, it has to be 50 points. Because when you're 600 points out, split it down the middle at 50 a race pretty much, that's, well, that's pretty tough to do. Now if you get a DNF, and you finish the race, lead the most laps, you could gain a maximum, I think it's like 156, 155 points. So if you do catch an extreme stroke of luck, you could leapfrog, but the AIs just don't wreck out that much. You would have far better odds of probably catching a caution, and we got a Darlington stripe there. Catching a caution and them being maybe 30th one lap down during the pit sequence. Anyways, we've just dominated this race here, guys, and the car's feeling pretty good. I can feel the right front starting to wear. That's okay, though. Matt Kenseth, though, in second place. Tony Stewart is dropping back. He's more of a short-run car. It's Earnhardt and Kenseth are second and third, respectively. Tires are wearing a little bit more, so we're having to reduce the speeds, but it's putting us in a pretty interesting spot here. Because it's almost like no matter what we do, we're not going to gain enough on Dale Jr. But, you know, we're going to go out there and try to pad the stat sheet a little bit. Try to get some Winston Cup wins, and try to get our average finish back to where it needs to be. You know, we finished second in the points last season, and we won 14 races. Put that in perspective. In a 36-race season, we won 14 races, guys, as we get another big strike there. That means we lost 24 races. That's it. 24 races. We won everything else, and it still was not enough to win the championship. That's what I'm saying, guys. It takes a gargantuan season to win a Winston Cup. Anyways, though, still digging here. Lap 16 out of 36. Pit stops. Let's see. So you split it down the middle. 15, 15 out of 3 to 3. That'd be, yeah, coming up pretty soon here. Will someone pit early and try to leapfrog? I mean, obviously, with 5 seconds out, you're not going to leapfrog them. You're going to have to just manhandle them with a new race car, or hope and pray for a caution. Obviously, the race is in our control right now, but we got to find a way to get through this pit stop. Now, if we have a speeding penalty or a screw up on the pit stop, obviously that tightens everything up with a vice. But again, that's you know, if that happens. Hopefully, it don't. I do want to go ahead and lock up the most laps led, though, just in case anything happens. So we need to lead, I think, one more lap, and I think we'll have that locked up. And that would be great if we can get that locked up, because that guarantees us at least 10 points there. And I would like to pit after Earnhardt does. That way he can't pit and gain those 5 bonus points. Or not pit and gain those 5 bonus points. So just stay out as long as possible. We have 5 seconds to throw away, so if we lose 2 seconds based on new tires, I don't mind it. And considering Earnhardt's in second, 6 seconds back, definitely, I'm going to stay out here as long as I can until he pits. Or until we run out of gas. And I got Casey Mears in the Ganassi Dodge. You know, he hasn't done anything in his Winston Cup career, unfortunately. The teammate, though, that replaced Sterling Marlin found victory lane this season at Richmond, Scott Wimmer. And we're going to have to pit this lap, unfortunately. Dale Earnhardt Jr. still cruising at a 6.1 second gap. I'm hoping he'll pit here. I don't think he will. But we're going to have to pit here. We don't have a choice. This is the last lap of fuel we have on board. I'm going to let the 41 go, because we have to dodge David Green here in his Dodge, ironically enough. So we're going to go ahead and bring it down pit road here. We cannot miss this pit entrance. And unfortunately, it looks like Earnhardt is going to... Yeah, I don't know. Did Earnhardt pit? I have no clue. We're not going to touch the car. Keep it how it is. Earnhardt's still second. I think he's still coming around the mountain. And not sure, though. Where's Earnhardt? Is he behind us? Is he in front of us? I'm not too sure. We got a wide screen on the camera here. Who knows? Come on, team. Knock on wood. Hope and pray to God we get a good pit stop here, guys. Come on, team. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. If we can just get a 16 flat, I'll be okay with it, because we ran this thing dry. Come on, team. Come on, team. No screw-ups. Come on, come on, come on. Perfect. 15.7. Great job, guys. Great job. And, wow. That doesn't happen too often. You pit as the leader, and you exit as the leader. Kenseth, who pitted, I think, maybe a lap or 2 before us, leapfrogged us a little bit with some fresher tires. But guess what now? We have those fresher tires. So as long as we don't ball at ours, we should be okay. But that tells me that no one led a lap during that sequence, so the opportunity to lead every lap is still alive for us. And that means no one gets extra bonus points. So this is pretty interesting stuff here, guys. And Earnhardt is back in 5th place. Granted, he's got fresher tires now. Luckily, he pitted with us. I was thinking he was going to stay out one more lap because the AI sometimes stretches their fuel mileage. Because what I think happens here is the AI... So, in this game, you can upgrade your car, you can make more horsepower, you can make more downforce, etc. But you can also make more engine efficiency. And I think the AIs have maximum fuel efficiency. So they can pit pretty much anywhere they want and they'll be okay. Well, in order for us to get that maximum fuel efficiency, we have to keep upgrading our car. The problem is it also adds horsepower as well. That would make our car way too OP and we would just win every single race. I don't want to do that. We got our car at the perfect balance where I have to do everything right to win the championship. Where we have to do everything right to win a race. That's how the game should be played. It shouldn't be just go and win 36 out of 36 races. I can't stand that, no. I want to be able to enjoy the game and have a challenge presented. That's what I like. And that's why our efficiency is a little bit worse than them. But truth be told, that's actually very realistic because if you go back to the earlier days of the Winston Cup, or not earlier days, but the later days of the Winston Cup, you know, the early 2000s, there was a big discrepancy between the manufacturers and fuel mileage. You go to the plate tracks, I'm talking 2, maybe 3 laps difference on fuel. Nowadays, you don't really hear that as much. There might be half a lap, maybe 1 lap, but I'm talking, you would have teams who were forced to pit 3 laps before other manufacturers on the first pit stop back in the early 2000s. There was that much of a discrepancy between the engine and a fuel ratio. Nowadays, it's a lot more efficient, obviously, technology, and they build these engines nowadays. It's unbelievable how small of a detail they put in these engines. I'm talking the absolute micro fraction in those engines could generate 1/10 of the racetrack. It's insane. And back in the early 2000s, though, there was a discrepancy between the manufacturers and fuel mileage. So maybe the Dodges one day would have more, maybe the Chevrolets would have more. But it also depends, if you want more power, you have to give up more fuel, right? So it does play into your own team strategy as well. But anyways, we're out front here at Darlington. It's lap 28 out of 36. We're pulling away from Matt Kenseth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is still in 5th. But we are encountering lap traffic, guys. This could get interesting here. We need to take care of the car, make sure we keep the fenders on it here as we're coming down to the home stretch of this Southern 500. You know, we've won at Darlington many times. We've won a lot of these crown jewel events. Got to watch out there. Was that maybe the 42 car, or was it Ron Hornaday in the UPS Ford that made a little contact maybe with the wall? Anyways, we kind of dodged that. McMurray is cooled off after Bristol, surprisingly, because honestly, I'd still be Stanley steaming as we make a little contact with him there. Sorry, buddy. Trying to get around them. 2 wide ahead of us. That's going to help Kenseth, who's in 2nd, as we're having to claw our way through lap traffic. Now, the one thing that helps us, though, is we got 4 seconds in the bank. Caution, though, would erase that. And another thing that helps us is the AI. I would say they get through traffic 10% slower than us. So that's 10% each car. They get by slower. So it starts to add up over time. We've actually won a race here at Darlington due to that, you know? When the AI is out front, they encounter lockdown cars, they get woed up, we get up to them, but we're able to knife our way through them because the AI doesn't move people out of the way. They don't really take risks. They kind of just go where they can go, and if it's blocked, they just stay there. So, with us, we don't have that boundary. We're kind of able to go underneath where they're scripted to go. So it kind of gives us a little bit more of a advantage, so to speak, but it also, you know, they could be playing a little bit more safe while we have to play a little bit more aggressive to be able to make that lap traffic up. And right here we got Mike Bliss. He's steaming after Bristol, and he has all the right to, but I got to get around him. So Is this the turn you want to pass them here in 3 and 4? I don't know, but I don't want to be taken out by the 5 car, so perhaps we might have to nudge him out of the way. I'm going to try to get away from him. Just a scratch. Just a scratch. Just a scratch there. It's pretty bad when you have to go to the apron to dodge the 5 car, but, you know, the Rookie of the Year from last season, I mean, not having a good stint with the Hendrick Motorsports team. Of course, the 5 car wasn't exactly the Taj Mahal at the last years of Terry Labonte's career, but you consider what Gordon's been doing and Johnson's been doing, there's definitely some performance in those Hendrick engines. Now, this is interesting to note. Junior is still in 5th place with about a second behind with, what, 2-3 laps to go? Looks like Earnhardt would actually lose, I think, 20 to 25 points based on position here if the race ended now. And then you add in the maximum bonus points, it could be a possible 35-point swing we would gain on him. Granted, it's nothing compared to 600 points back, but if you're going to make some sort of charge for the championship, you really got to gain points here and there. The tires are shot on this car, but we've definitely got plenty of track position. We should be okay. We're coming to the white flag here. Trying to get our 3rd win of the season. We've won at Atlanta. We've won at Pocono. Coming off turn 4, we're going to take the white flag here. Scott Wimmer is in front of us in the Coors Light Dodge Intrepid. Just take care of the equipment. The next race is going to be Richmond. That's a very, very good track for us. So if we want to do anything championship-wise, we need to go to Richmond. We're going to have to find a way to get to victory lane, that's for sure. 2, 3, and 4 here. Absolute domination, the best domination race for us here. I mean, 36 out of 36 laps led. Insanity. We win the Southern 500 again. That is crazy, guys. I think it was by 5.5 seconds, too, to Matt Kenseth there. Or not Kenseth, excuse me. That was back to Earnhardt. It was probably like 4 seconds or so to Kenseth. But, I mean, just an absolute domination here, guys. 36 out of 36 laps led. That is so hard to do with a green flag pit stop because of the discrepancy with people pitting. You know, people pitting early, pitting late. They gain track position. But wow, that's a big win right there. 3rd win of the season. You know, and even though we really didn't gain much on Earnhardt, we gained a lot of points on the guys in 4th and 3rd place in the championship standings. So it definitely kind of stacks up. So that's pretty good right there. Make sure we do a good burnout here too. And at least we kept the sponsors happy on the race car, which is always nice. Really cool to win here again at the Southern 500. I think it's our 3rd win here for the Southern 500, if I remember correctly. But wow, that is freaking awesome.
A rare caution-free race.
Well, that's good news.
So dominating day here at Darlington Raceway. We pick up our 3rd win of the season here. We've won, of course, Atlanta, Pocono, and now the Southern 500. You know, it hasn't been that great of a season. You know, the team sponsorship-wise has not been exactly very potent. We're still looking for a full sponsorship for 2009, and hopefully that'll be a better season for the team. But, you know, we're doing what we got to do. But, hey, we're in victory lane. That's always good, you know. Spraying the Mountain Dew around, I guess. But, man, dominated. I mean, we qualified on pole. We led every single lap. Kenseth, Earnhardt, Tony Stewart, they were denied a huge win. And, hey, I'll take it, man. Stay home. We'll keep digging. And, wow. A little bit of a beat-up side of that race car. But it's all good. It's all good and dandy. We found a way to survive it. Man, holy cow. No one got bonus points today. No one. We completely shut them out. 36 out of 36, so 185 points to us. We gained, oh boy, 30 points on Dale Earnhardt Jr. But there's some points that we gained across the board. You know, Tony Stewart, we gained 20 points there. Martin, we gained 25. Let's see, through the field here. You know, we gained some points across the board, but, you know, definitely Earnhardt's the only one we're really worried about. But looks like P. Nelson and Tom Watson going to be the bottom of the barrel. We did put some cats a lap down, though. Look at that. All the way up to Ashton Lewis. A lap down. here at Darlington. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll upload these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Diecastbuffet. Hope you have a great one. Diecastbuffet, signing off.